morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, February 13th, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The Philippines have been hit by at least 139 aftershocks, earthquakes. This is all since a magnitude 6.7 quake struck the nation late Friday night, killing at least 8 people, injuring more than 200 others, and damaging the main airport and about 1,000 homes in Surigao. Damage was so extensive that Philippine President Duarte, who went to console the victims, could not land at the airport because of fissures and cracks on the runway. The quake damaged 12 schools, 6 bridges, and a number of shopping malls. This all occurred about 700 kilometers or 400 miles southeast of Manila. The quake actually did have one benefit. Following the Friday earthquake, communist guerrillas declared an indefinite ceasefire in quake-hit areas to foster rehabilitation work. They said, "Rest assured, we will not do any harm to the military as long as they are working on rescue and rehabilitation efforts," according to the statement released by the communist rebels. Also late on Friday, a long-running saga finally came to an end when former AIG boss Maurice Hank Greenberg agreed to settle a long-running civil securities fraud case, paying $9 million to end the prosecution. This was a prosecution that had been brought by then Attorney General Eliot Spitzer over a decade ago. Right after the settlement, lawyers for both sides immediately began to publicly argue whether or not this had constituted an admission of guilt or it was simply a procedure by Mr. Greenberg to dispatch with this long festering litigation. Both parties are continuing that public discussion today, each trying to gain a publicity advantage. In the United States, about 180,000 people who are living below the tallest dam in the country have been ordered to evacuate. Authorities in California issued abrupt evacuation orders about 30 minutes after midnight last night, saying that a crumbling spillway on the Lake Oroville Dam could give way and unleash raging floodwaters onto a string of rural communities along the Feather River in Northern California. Evacuation centers have been set up in Chico, California, about 20 miles northwest of Oroville, but it's impossible to get there because the roads are jammed with evacuees. The California Department of Water Resources did not help the evacuation, saying on their Facebook page last night that the spillway of California's Oroville Dam was, quote, predicted to fail within the next hour. The dam is some 720 feet tall. It's the tallest dam in the U.S. It's even higher than Hoover Dam. The California authorities began to use helicopters to drop rocks to fill a huge gouge in the spillway, and they also began to gradually release water to lower the lake's level, which had become overflowing after weeks of heavy rains. Those efforts have all begun to pay off, and the immediate danger supposedly has passed, but the authorities are saying that once you have damage to a structure like this, it's catastrophic and the dam could go at any time. The Italian insurer Generali is reportedly planning additional cuts to persuade its shareholders to back its independence in the face of a takeover attempt by the Italian bank Intesa Sanpaolo. According to the Financial Times, Generali plans to raise its target for cuts from what they have in place of about 4% up to as high as 7%. In the United States, on Friday afternoon, President Trump had a long conversation with Chinese President Xi Jinping, after which Trump reaffirmed the United States' commitment to the One China policy. Trump spent the weekend with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and his wife, and then also the Trump National Security Advisor, former General Michael Flynn, is apparently facing increasing internal criticism because of talks that he had with the Russian ambassador about possibly removing economic sanctions before the Trump administration came into office. In Australia, the state of New South Wales has been struck by a swath of bushfires that have destroyed at least 30 homes. The authorities are describing the fire as catastrophic. The fire is about 200 kilometers wide. It's burned through about 50,000 acres near Dunedin. The temperature in the area has reached 116 degrees, breaking records. And the United Kingdom, a new survey is indicating that labor is difficult to find. Employers are saying that the effects of Brexit is causing non-UK nationals to leave Britain, thus leading to a labor shortage. A study commissioned by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development quizzed more than 1,000 employers in the UK, and the response is overwhelming that they're having difficulty finding people to fill jobs. So this job vacancy situation is apparently being caused by Europeans and others who are living in the United Kingdom who are going home because they do not know yet what the results of the Brexit agreement is going to be. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.